Outside of roster and outlook, what's another big question or something that's on your guys' mind in terms of what comes next for Michigan under Dusty May? No, we've discussed a lot.
Fundamentals and toughness and rebounding. I mean, fundamentals for sure. And I said this in a column that, you can lean on the GOAT, John Beeline, right? I'd get him in there and say, hey, give me some drills to work on with these guys to make us better, because how many games did they give away or were closer than they should have been because of the mindless turnovers that led to pick sixes that we never used to see. And I'm not saying that this team needs to be a John Beeline type team. They're going to be more turnovers because of the tempo they play with. But guys, some of the ones that we saw were just unbelievable at times this year. So that's got to improve. And I think he understands that too. So I would call John and I'd say, hey, what can I do to make things better? He said he talked to 25 coaches who were having some teams who were having issues with turnovers. They got better as the year went on. And especially 3 of the last 5 games before Auburn, I think they had less than 10, if I'm not mistaken, which was pretty impressive. So, but that's an area where they need to improve. And other than that, man, just when it comes to culture, I look at the big things when it comes to building a team, right? The culture, the chemistry, knowing how to put a roster together. I have no doubt that Dusty May is the right guy for that. I said it when he was hired. And I'll say this again. There were 3 guys in history that I knew were going to be great hires for Michigan when they were hired. It was John Beeline, Jim Harbaugh, and Dusty May. So I've no doubt that they're in great shape. So I'm just excited to see who they get now. That's what's this team going to look like? Who are these guys? How are they going to mesh? And I'm with you, Clay. It's sad it's over. I wish we were watching them for another weekend. I would like to see you guys and showing you around San Antonio. They have a river walk down there. I'm not sure if you've heard. So, but it's
I've
fun.
heard there's just margaritas everywhere there.
There are margaritas everywhere, and it's a lot of fun. But good luck to it'll be fun watching those teams in it too. I think it'll be a great Final Four.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I would echo a lot of that in terms of like the turnovers or whatever. But when you look at the way when Dusty May finally got that thing built at Florida Atlantic, the turnovers were really low. So this was uncharacteristic. He understands, he knows how to coach a team to not turn the ball over. Part of it was roster. They didn't just play faster. They also played really big. So that's a part of it. When you have a 7-footer as one of your creators, it's kind of the give and take, right? Well, we don't have great playmaking except for our 7-footer, but the 7-footer in that role is probably going to turn it over a decent amount. So it'll look different, right? There'll be a different weakness. There'll be a different strength next season. I'm excited. A lot of it does have to do with the roster of just, okay, what do we have now? What are we going to build around? So that'll be interesting. And we'll kind of get some updates. Sounds like we'll have a press conference with Coach May as like a closure type of thing here, maybe in the coming weeks. And then, last year they did one after they built the roster, and they did one after summer workouts, and they did one right before fall practices started. So we're going to kind of get some insight throughout the way. I love covering this program under Dusty May, just the transparency and not to their detriment at all, right? Actually to their, it's a positive for them. The fans are engaged. They understand what the coaches are looking for. They understand where the players are in their development, all that sort of stuff. So we will be able to follow it really closely with this team. But and I meant to mention this after you mentioned Jace Howard. He told me today that he is seeking an extra year of eligibility due to a medical hardship waiver. Only played in 5 games this year. Last game he played in was December 29th against Western Kentucky. And he said the plan since January has been for him to get a medical. So good luck to him wherever he goes. Well, a heck of a run. I mean, he was on a team that he was teammates with a bunch of guys that have been in the NBA for a few years here. He made multiple NCAA tournament runs. He also had an 8-win year. He's seen it all. He's been coached by his dad. He's been coached by somebody else. Crazy 5 years for Jace Howard at Michigan.
Big Ten championship ring, Big Ten tournament championship.
Yes.
Couple Sweet 16s and Elite 8. That's a pretty damn good career.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And so much for the narrative that, damn it, Dusty, why didn't you play him on senior day, you piece of crap?
Right.
Where did that narrative come from?
Yeah, right.
I think my closing thoughts on this group in terms of what I want to see moving forward, and maybe it's a no-duh analysis, but got to get a little more athletic, got to get more physical, just got to knock down shots. I mean, I think a lot of the turnover issues were one thing, but when they weren't shooting the ball well, I think that's when you saw those kind of leads disappear and teams get back in games. So Yeah, just got to get deeper, tougher, all those types of things, and I think they will. I think that now that they have a taste of this league, and I'll just say this in general, just watching the rest of the Big Ten perform in this event the way that it has, over the last 25 years, the officiating in this league is getting worse, and it's not doing these teams any favors. I think Dusty and his staff, the biggest challenge is building a roster, building a team that's kind of like officiating proof, if that's even possible, because it's just different. I mean, there was stuff called, not called in that game against Auburn that we just hadn't seen all year, because it's different speed, different intensity. So we'll see. That's what everyone's trying to work on across the country. But Big Ten still can't find a way to snap that drought. Maybe Michigan will be the team that does it the next couple of years. But feel pretty good about where things are at. Overjoyed about where things are at, and I think that's a good way to probably put a bow on basketball until we start turning the page to next year's team. We're going to find out who's on it soon enough. All that work is underway.